Happening now at 6. First, the burglary at a local high school, the search for the suspect, and the impact it could have on students. We're live at the school. Plus, the new surveillance video during the FBI raid and arrest of Roger Stone.
Full SWAT gear.
Exclusive footage showing the moments federal agents showing up, taking him out in handcuffs. Our chief political correspondent looking into the controversy. And we have new reporting tonight on the Arcata parking problem.
Really successful town squares are designed around pedestrians and not around cars.
The new study and how it could help businesses in the area. North Coast News at 6 on ABC 23 starts right now.
Live from our studio in downtown Eureka, you're watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23. At 6, severe weather first.
And we have breaking news as we come on the air tonight. A house fire in McKinleyville tearing through a roof there. A heavy response on Glendale Drive in McKinleyville.
The owner of that home saying a chimney fire got out of control.
Now, we spoke to the owner on the scene out there. He tells us that he lit a fire in his wood stove and then he stoked that fire. He says that's when the stovetop ignited. He said the smoke quickly began billowing outside. He then called the fire department, Nazi.
Yeah, multiple agencies out there responding just over an hour ago. We are still waiting to hear back from officials on the extent of the damage, but we do know, luckily, no reports of anyone hurt there.
And new tonight, McKinleyville High School students are without some exercise equipment. This after investigators say that thousands of dollars worth of equipment were stolen in the dead of night.
The school says multiple elliptical-style bicycles were stolen, and at this hour, the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office still searching for the suspects. ABC 23's Dylan Brown is at McKinleyville High. He joins us now live to tell us more. Dylan, what are students who use that stolen equipment supposed to do now?
Now, Nazi, that's the big thing here. The students, they're extremely disappointed that these bikes were taken. I spoke with school staff today. They say they've had these bikes for a couple years now, and the students use them all the time on the track team, the cross-country team, and they store them right here overnight in this shed. These very expensive, highly the very good bikes right there. Now, the staff tells me that they have this door locked right here, and this is where the Elliptigo bikes were stored at. You can see the new locks are right here. They've got the new locks on them. Right here, though, is where the old lock was. Staff telling me that someone came in and broke that off, came in, threw stuff all on the ground. They said they came here Tuesday morning and just saw stuff. Custodial staff saw stuff thrown all over the ground. Now, if we could, let's go ahead and get a look at a picture of the bike. If we could go ahead and go towards that for people to see exactly what it looks like. The Humboldt County Sheriff's Office saying this is what it looks like. If you're seeing it, that's the bike that looks like that they stole. 2 black and 2 red, 4 in total. The principal, Nick Colart, says that they found them on Tuesday morning. He says each of these are close to $2,500 each. But he tells me it's not just the money that's the issue here. It's that their school used these Elliptigo bikes for the training that helped the school excel in both track and cross country. Now, I asked him how the kids are taking it. Here's what he had to say.
Oftentimes, a number of miles, they ride them around the community for workouts, just to be in shape, and a lot of cardio work. Yeah, no, they've been a really big asset to our program, for sure.
So
yeah, you know, I don't think, I would think if someone's out riding those in the community, they're not like your standard bike, so they'd be pretty visible.
Now, again, right here is the picture you're looking at. This is the picture of the bikes HCSO providing, saying this is what they look like. 4 of them were taken from the school grounds. Principal Colart says the alarm went off. Their custodial staff responded, but it was too late. Now, Principal Colart has told me that the school intends on getting new Elliptigo bikes because of how great they were for the students here. And that's if the stolen ones don't show up anytime soon. But he says it isn't hard to spot them at all. I mean, you can pretty much tell what kind of bikes they are by just seeing them on the street. So if you see these bikes at all, Colart says to call the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office at their number and let them know of any information you have on the stolen bikes. Reporting live at McKinleyville High School, Dylan Brown, North Coast News.
Thank you, Dylan, for that report. Also in Humboldt County, some frightening moments for a mother and her young child as they take a trip to Samoa Beach that ends in terror. 2
men are wanted tonight for trying to rob that mother and child at gunpoint, according to the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office.
Here's what we know. Deputies getting a call from the woman around 5 o'clock yesterday evening. The victim saying that she and her small child were getting out of their car at the north parking lot at Samoa Beach. That's when investigators say two men in a maroon SUV approached, one getting out, holding up a gun, demanding that woman's keys.
She said when she refused, that man choked her in front of her child. That's when another car pulled into the parking lot, apparently scaring those suspects away. Officials say they sped off northbound on New Navy Base Road.
Now, the car is described as a faded maroon SUV with peeling paint and heavy tinted windows. It also had a white decal on the back.
Yeah, both suspects described as white men between 17 and 21 years old. One suspect had dirty blonde hair, last seen wearing a red hooded sweatshirt, a camouflage face mask, and black gloves.
Now, the second suspect there described as having short brown hair, last seen wearing a black hooded sweatshirt with a white design on the front. No word of the condition of that woman tonight.
We move now to Del Norte County, where a family home was burned in Crescent City. The cause still under investigation tonight. The Crescent City Fire Department says they were called out to Cooper Avenue yesterday afternoon, where they found a home with smoke and fire shooting out of windows. Officials saying no one was inside. Crews attacking the fire forced to cut a hole in the roof of that home to let out trapped heat and smoke. They say the flames got under control in about an hour. No one was hurt, but the home did have $50,000 worth of damage.
Okay, over to the Bay Area now, where the San Rafael Bridge suffered some major damage today. The CHP shutting that bridge down after concrete began falling from the upper deck onto the lower deck. Officials saying that it started around 11 o'clock this morning. Here's what it looked like out there. You can see that mess. Big traffic delays in that area. Obviously, that is a major thoroughfare there connecting the East Bay over into the North Bay. Some of the drivers there were told by officials making unsafe turns, trying to get out of that mess. Some flat out abandoning their vehicles there on the bridge. You can see what it looks like there. The CHP says that it is working with Caltrans to determine what happened. There is no estimated time on reopening that bridge. Also, no injuries have been reported there.
New tonight, San Francisco police hope information helps capture a cold case suspect. The department released an age progression sketch of the Doodler. They've also put out a 1974 recording of a person who was reporting a possible death, along with a $100,000 reward. The Doodler is wanted for numerous attacks on homosexual men decades ago, as well as 5 other gay men who were killed. The suspect got his name because an assault victim told police the man was a cartoonist who was last seen doodling at a diner.
Moving now to politics. New tonight, that surveillance video from inside the FBI raid and arrest of Donald Trump's former campaign advisor, Roger Stone.
We have exclusive footage showing Stone's view the moment federal agents showed up, eventually taking him out in handcuffs.
North Coast News chief political correspondent Scott Thuman has the exclusive video and the controversy surrounding it.
Roger Stone is accused of lying about his alleged role in the release of Russian-hacked emails that were damaging to Hillary Clinton's campaign. He knew he was under investigation by the special counsel. He did not know that this raid, of which we've now obtained video, was about to take place. Guns drawn and approaching before sunrise, a swarm of FBI agents swiftly advance at the home of Roger Stone, former advisor and longtime friend of Donald Trump's. After several knocks, Stone appears.
I opened the door, and in my front yard, I was staring down the barrel of 2 assault weapons, and I saw a dozen other FBI agents in the background, all wearing night goggles, full SWAT gear.
Behind the house, more arrive by boat. Stone identifies himself, is told there's a warrant for his arrest, and is handcuffed.
I was wearing a Roger Stone Did Nothing Wrong t-shirt, a pair of cut-off sweatpants, and bare feet. They took me out to stand in the middle of the street.
As the longtime political operative and his wife were outside, inside agents began collecting what they could.
And they essentially went through every square inch of my house. They removed all of my electronics, my computer, none of which have any evidence of Russian collusion or WikiLeaks collaboration.
Why the large show of force? Multiple law enforcement sources tell us it is not uncommon when someone may be a flight risk, a danger, or destroy crucial evidence. Factors law enforcement has to consider. Stone, who earlier showed me how the raid went down from his viewpoint, claims there was a different reason.
To make me look guilty in public, to poison the jury pool and make me look like El Chapo or some kind of drug kingpin.
Some Republican lawmakers are also complaining about the raid and want answers from the FBI director. We reached out to the special counsel's office. They've declined to comment. On Capitol Hill, I'm Scott Thuman.
Scott, thank you for that report. Stone has been charged with 7 crimes. He is now the 6th former Trump associate to be charged and is currently out of jail on $250,000 bond.
Well, let's talk about those charges. Roger Stone was arrested on Special Counsel Robert Mueller's indictment after a probe into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Stone charged with 7 counts total, 5 counts of lying to Congress, 1 count of obstruction of an official proceeding, and 1 count of witness tampering. All of this while being advisor to President Donald Trump during his 2016 campaign. And coming up on North Coast News, road conditions have been more dangerous than usual with the recent North Coast storms.
That's right. We wanted to know just how bad the conditions have been for drivers. We took those concerns to the CHP and have the numbers for you coming up.
And the issue of parking in downtown Arcata will show you a recent study showing what's wrong with it and where public perception could be incorrect.
Plus, there's a beautiful look at the sun setting there in downtown Eureka. You know, it's been cool out there the past couple of days. What, in the earlier part of the week, it was downright cold at Nazy.
Icy, cold conditions,
Yep.
hail and snow.
We saw that snow coming down below 1,000 feet in some areas. Past couple of days have been decent, though. How much longer will it stay decent? That next weather maker on the horizon. Our First Alert meteorologist is in the First Alert Weather Center tracking the timing of that weather maker as it moves into your backyard. Rob Elvington will be joining us in less than 2 minutes of time at 6:10. I'm Scott Rates.
I'm Nazy Javid, and this is North Coast News.
You're watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23. Weekdays on ABC 23.
Love is in the air at the Heights this February. Saturdays in the Pit, hit a suited blackjack with hearts and get $25 in promo chips, plus a chance to win cash and a Sunset Restaurant gift certificate. Fridays in Bingo, 5 lucky winners get to pick a heart to win up to $200. Plus, the Rainbow Buy-In is only $25 and extra packs are $3. So hit up the Heights and try your luck at blackjack and bingo. More entertainment, more fun, more winning. Visit sherryheights.com for all the details. 5 minutes off the 101 in beautiful Trinidad.
Dear Mad River Community Hospital, I brought my son into your emergency room with a high fever and severe pain in his stomach. I wasn't prepared to hear he needed surgery. But Dr. Barker and the nurse's explanation of the procedure put me at ease, and they were comforting to both Connor and I. Today, he is a healthy and happy boy. Thank you, Mad River Hospital, for being so kind and caring.
Mad River Community Hospital, always ready with 24-hour emergency services.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
This is not a bed. It's a revolution in sleep. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is on sale now from $8.99 during the Ultimate Sleep Number event. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable. It even helps with this. So you wake up ready to hit the ground running. Only at a Sleep Number store. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus 24-month financing on all smart beds. Only for a limited time. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep.
Good evening, happy Thursday, and we'll start off once again with a look at the precipitation forecast for the next 7 days. And again, this is liquid equivalent. You had into Trinity County, Siskiyou County, and of course parts of Humboldt and Delaware County. Just about everything on this map will be in the form of snow. And something to keep in mind, these are very cold storm systems dropping in. So the ratios will be very high once you head to 3, 4, and 5,000 feet. So let's say 1 inch of liquid equivalent, you're going to get ratios around 15 to 1, 20 to 1. So we're talking very powdery snow. And you'll notice in these contours, this is about 3.5, that's 4 inches. So you're talking feet of snow once you head above 3,000 feet over the next 7 days. So really impressive storm systems moving in. Of course, we've seen higher precipitation totals in previous weeks over the last few months, but those were all warm storm systems. But to get that much precipitation with all of these cold storms is just something we don't see very often. There's a look at the satellite and radar. So our next weather maker, our next storm system, it's off to the west, pretty far off to the west, and it's going to continue to drop to the south and southeast as it moves in closer to the Bay Area by tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. We We will see showers moving in. You'll notice we're even seeing some returns on the radar. A lot of that is what we call virga, so it's evaporating before it reaches the ground because the radar beam is above the surface, especially as you get 30, 40 miles away from the radar site. And look at this, winter storm warnings issued for elevations above 2,500 feet for both Humboldt County and Del Norte County, all of Trinity County in that winter storm warning. And something to keep in mind that the winter storm warnings for elevations above 2,500 feet, and that's because you have to hit certain criteria to get a winter storm warning, but even down to 1,000 feet, maybe even down to 500 feet, you could see some snow, and we're talking maybe several inches of snow around 1,000 feet or 1,500 feet. So again, just because you're not in that winter storm warning does not mean you cannot see accumulating snowfall. It's just you have to hit certain criteria to get into that warning. So here's a look at precision cast. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. You'll notice most of the showers just off to our west and southwest, but we could even see a few showers into the north coast tomorrow morning. And then best chances for rain and even mountain snow will be off to the south by tomorrow afternoon and off to the east. But watch this. Our next system drops in by this upcoming Saturday morning. We're talking early Saturday morning, and look at some of that heavy snow falling. Once you get into those darker blues, that's heavy snow, and we'll continue to see some of these heavy bands moving in through your Saturday morning and into your Saturday afternoon. You'll notice how some of these rain snow lines not too far away from the ocean. So again, very cold storm systems moving in, and these snow showers really pile up the snow in the higher elevations through your Saturday afternoon and into your Saturday evening, and we'll continue to see lingering showers and snow showers all the way into your Sunday morning. We're talking maybe snow down to sea level by Sunday morning. And then we have another system dropping in on Monday, and if the rates are high enough, so if it's heavy enough precipitation, once again we could see some snow approaching 500 feet. And then we've got another storm system moving in by Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. What makes this one interesting, it's going to be tapping into what we call an atmospheric river, so subtropical and tropical moisture. So very heavy snow once you get above 4,000 feet by Tuesday of next week. But a big concern for the other part of the state, let's say the southern half of California, you're likely going to have some pretty high snow levels. So you're going to be getting rain on top of the snowpack. So we're definitely concerned about maybe some flooding for the southern parts of the state next week. Let's take a look at the forecast. We are expecting temperatures likely staying in the 40s to low 50s tomorrow. Look at all that rain, and look at this. Here's the inland forecast. Snow in the forecast just about every single day.
Off the beaten path.
The key to travel is flexibility, because things change.
In the proper frame of mind.
That was my last tourist. Oh, really?
For all the right reasons. Do it for yourself and for someone else.
Sonrisa, smile.
Respectful.
I'm not going to start eating
thoughtful.
goat. When food is offered, you really need to eat
authentic. Raw. Raw travel.
On ABC 23.
Over 100 years ago, we were talking about the Model T. Now here we are, talking about winning the most J.D. Power IQS and Appeal Awards, talking about driver assist technology, talking about the highest customer loyalty in the country. But that's enough talking. Seriously, that was a lot of talking. Back to building.
Now get an extra $1,000 when you trade. That's another $1,000 on top of 0 for 60 plus $3,000 on F-150. Only at your California Ford dealers. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
NAZY, Javid with North Coast News. I'm just arriving on scene of a two-alarm fire here in Eureka.
The confirmed details from Eureka Police Chief Steve Watson was that there was a reported possibly stabbing. Now, we got out here a little after 10.
The Doctors. Weekdays on ABC 23. Live from our studio in downtown Eureka, you're watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23. At 6, severe weather first.
Welcome back to you. Good evening. Well, with more snow and hail on the horizon, we are checking in with the CHP to see what our roads look like during the last batch of icy weather. Here's what we found out. The California Highway Patrol tells us in Humboldt County, there were 47 crashes total, 24 on Monday, 21 on Tuesday, and 2 yesterday. These crashes all weather related. The CHP says the majority of them were injury crashes as well.
Another crash on the safety corridor of Highway 101 today, blocking traffic. Around 2:30 this afternoon, the Highway Patrol saying a car in the intersection of Jacobs Avenue trying to merge, crashing into a car heading north. The northbound lane's completely closed for about 15 minutes. Officials say, though, no one was hurt.
And another accident, a crash at 7th and California Streets in Eureka, sending a driver to the hospital this morning. Here's what we know. The Eureka Police Department tells us that the driver of that Toyota you see right there crashing into a parked car, causing major damage. Take a look at that right there. No one was in that parked car at the time. The driver was taken to the hospital by ambulance. We are waiting to hear back on the extent of that person's injuries. The cause there still under investigation at this hour.
Still ahead on North Coast News.
The issue of parking in downtown Arcata. It's a hot topic. What's wrong with it and what's being done to fix it? Andy Krause is looking into that in part 2 of this exclusive report. Don't go anywhere.
Watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23.
He's really going to cut my hair, isn't he?
Weekdays on ABC 23.
Over 7,000 shows, more than 400,000 clues. This is America's favorite quiz show host. This is Jeopardy!
Weekdays on ABC 23.
Jack's $4.99 fish sandwich combo. It's a deal so good, it'll make everyone a fish lover. You get 100% wild-caught Alaska pollock, breaded with panko breadcrumbs and topped with tartar sauce. Plus hot and salty fries and a drink for just $4.99. The $4.99 fish sandwich combo.
Waves aren't the only thing I surf. I surf the air. I surf roads, lanes, and alleys. Drop in on mountainsides and carve through valleys. I surf the ocean. I surf adventure. I surf California.
Well-qualified lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Jeep Compass for $189 a month.
For comfort food at a comfortable price, try my sourdough patty melt combo with fries and a drink for just $4.99. It's the perfect remedy for the uncomfortable things in life, like flying, the dentist, and guys named Ronald. I have my reasons. Try my $4.99 sourdough patty melt combo today.
This portion of the news sponsored in part by Redwood Capital Bank.
We thought the plaza was a great example of how it could be designed in a better way to encourage more active transportation and therefore more civic and economic success.
Tonight we continue our in-depth look at the parking situation on Arcata.
To try and improve the Arcata Plaza, a study was recently done to examine research on various city squares and their parking situations across the country.
That's right. ABC 23's Andy Krause spoke to one of the transportation experts who oversaw the project. He joins us now live in the studio. Andy, good evening to you. What were the findings of this study, and what are some of the ways it can be applied to improve the plaza there?
Scott, the Coalition for Responsible Transportation Priorities did some in-depth analysis on Arcata's parking situation. They're trying to reduce the problems caused by parking to make the plaza more inviting for everyone.
If you go anywhere in the United States, I think, any town or city, and you ask people about parking, people are always going to tell you there's not enough parking.
Colin Fisk, the executive director of the Coalition for Responsible Transportation Priorities, says that's not the case in Arcata. In their study, they estimate downtown Arcata contains over 2,200 free parking spots, 95% of which are located within a quarter mile of the plaza.
We looked at a quarter mile because there's research that shows that most people are willing to walk at least a quarter of a mile to get to a shop or a business that they want to patronize.
Another issue is that free parking is expensive. Fisk says studies on locations similar to downtown Arcata show it costs about $4,000 to build each parking space and $600 to maintain it. When indirect costs are added in, like taxes and negative effects on businesses, Fisk says plaza parking amounts to a loss of $440,000 per year.
There's the direct cost of maintaining and building the space. There's the sort of opportunity cost of other things we could be doing with that space. And there's also more indirect costs, like the fact that more parking, there's research that shows that, you know, if you provide free and abundant parking, like of course everybody wants, you encourage more people to drive.
Fisk says that's not necessarily a good thing for businesses in the area, especially since 3 different studies cited in the research show that realtors often overestimate how many customers arrive by car, drivers tend to spend less than bicyclists, and free parking slows parking turnover.
One of the solutions to that is actually metering. You know, if you charge for parking, it turns over parking faster.
What's more is free parking is also a bit of a misnomer, and people are actually paying for it in places they may not expect.
It's not free. we're paying for it through our tax dollars. We're actually paying for it through increased housing costs and through increased cost of goods, because having parking increases the cost of building.
The coalition study found parking in roads accounts for roughly 50% of all downtown land use. Fisk says reducing at least some of that could be beneficial for the plaza.
That's what the research is finding, is that when you provide infrastructure for people to drive, they drive. When you provide infrastructure for them to walk, they walk, and bike, and so forth.
Well, I also asked Fisk what he thought about a parking structure as a potential solution to some of the plaza's parking shortcomings. He said he doesn't believe it to be feasible, citing the enormous cost to build and maintain a parking garage. He also said even if the city were to charge for access to it, structures usually do not generate enough revenue to support its costs, especially in places similar in size to Arcata. Live in the studio, Andy Krause, North Coast News.
Good report, Andy. Thank you for that information. Coming up, we'll break down your headlines county by county. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23.
At Redwood Capital Bank, we love doing business with you. I'm Freddie Ramirez, branch manager of Redwood Capital Bank's Henderson Center branch. We are so excited to be joining the vibrant business district and neighborhood community that makes up Henderson Center. Look for our new branch on the corner of Henderson and F Streets to open in early 2019.
Redwood Capital Bank, we love doing business with you.
Redwood Capital Bank, our interest is you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you want another truck, or a truck like no other? One that makes people say, they put what in that truck? One that has capabilities you can't find in other trucks and ushers in a whole new age. The all-new Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. For deals like no other, come in now during Ram Truck Month.
Or during Ram Truck Month, well-qualified returning lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Ram 1500 for $249 a month.
Since our beginning in the 1950s, Maples has been committed to the North Coast. While our plumbers are often seen donating their skills to local organizations, it's also been our privilege to invest in our community schools, recreational facilities, and public venues. 2019 marks the beginning of our 60th year. There's opportunity for everyone to make their contribution. Maple Service, we're glad to be a part of it.
Maple Service, your plumbing professionals, we're the ones you know.
North Coast News, severe weather first.
Welcome back. Here are your headlines county by county tonight.
Starting in Humboldt, where the sheriff's office says a mother and her child went to Samoa Beach, where they were held at gunpoint by two men reportedly trying to steal their car. Officials still looking for those suspects tonight.
In Del Norte County, a home on Glendale Drive in Crescent City igniting into flames. The damage there, at least $50,000. Officials still trying to figure out what caused it. No one was hurt there.
In Mendocino, Caltrans will replace markings for bike lanes that people say are easily confused with crosswalks. Bike lanes will soon be marked in solid green.
Those are your headlines county by county. Of course, we are following that breaking news out of McKinleyville where there was a house fire earlier. That house up there, we had a reporter on the scene trying to gather information. We know that it started in a stove area. Major response up there in that area.
Yeah, we're speaking with the homeowner as well to have new details for you at 10 o'clock tonight on Fox 28. Of course, for all your news and weather updates, you can check out our news app, download it on any device. It's free.
Yep, search North Coast News TV, and you get it right there at your fingertips. You get your weather updates and everything else. Dylan and Nazy working on news stories for tonight at 10 and 11. World News Tonight is next.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and make sure to get on Facebook and submit and vote for Photo of the Week. World News Tonight with David Mears next. Good night.
Thanks for being here. Good night.